Okay, guys, how are you? I missed you so much. I hope you're fine. I hope you're in good health. يا رب تكونوا في أحسن حال بصحة ومبسوطين. أهم حاجة وبنعمل حاجة مفيدة في الوقت ده. ندخل الشتوي، نطلع الصيفي، نطبخ، نبيك، نرقص، whatever it is. كتاب كان عندي من زمان وما قريتهوش، أرتب أوضتي، أرتب النوتس بتاعتي، أعمل رياضة في البيت. All this is really good for you to do during your free time, okay? use it wisely and enjoy it, okay? وحشتوني جدا جدا جدا. اوكي طيب انا I'll try to make الفيديوهات دي يعني a little bit اقصر عشان يعني ما نسرحش او ما تبقاش boring. اوكي فانا in this video I will just explain اخر two slides. اللي بعديها هنحل الورك شيت بتاعه supply and demand، وبعدين هبتدي معاكم التوبيك الجديد. تمام؟ Okay. What does this question say? It says if the demand schedule is written ومديني equation للدemand, it's equal to P equals 100 minus 4Q. والsupply equation بتاعته is P equals 40 plus Q. عايزني أجيب market equilibrium price market equilibrium quantity. تمام. طيب go back, try to remember. In equilibrium, what's happening? Supply and demand are intersecting at the equilibrium point, and you have an equilibrium price and an equilibrium quantity. So if you go back, let's say the equilibrium. For example, here, this is demand, this is supply, this is equilibrium. So this is the equilibrium price right here, and this is the equilibrium quantity. The equilibrium quantity is what? When quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. صح؟ يبقى at equilibrium. يعني إيه equilibrium? This is the point of intersection between demand and supply, where the equilibrium quantity is equal to quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. نرجع للسؤال تاني. Okay, so I have the equation for demand. Let's write our answer. Demand is equal to P equals 100 minus 4Q. Supply equals P equals 40 plus 2Q. They want me to get equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. So I know that at equilibrium, demand is equal to supply, right? Which means if I equate these two equations, the demand is what? The equation is what? 100 minus 4Q equals 40 plus 2Q, because the price, equilibrium price, is the same for demand and supply, right? Therefore, do you know how to solve this from your math classes? We want to put the Q's on one side and the numbers on the other side. So this will be 100 minus 40 equals 4Q plus 2Q. Okay? So that's 60 equals 6Q. How do you solve for Q? Divide by 6 equals 6 divided by 6Q. So your answer, 60 divided by 6, your Q is equal to 10. Okay, I'm not done here. I only got Q, which is 10. I need to get price. How will you get price? Substitute it either in your demand curve or in your supply curve. So if I put Q, let's say if I put it in demand, you can use either the demand curve or the supply curve. So your price equals 100 minus 4, and your Q is what? 10 multiplied by 10. So that's 100 minus 40, you get 60. If you also do it for supply, you will get the same answer. Supply equals price equals 40 plus 2, and your Q is 10 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 10, you get 60 as well. Okay, so you can use demand or supply, you get your answer. So if we go back to our answers, let's put this here. Okay, if I put this here, which is your right answer, A, B, C, or D? Let's see. Look at the answers. Q is 10 and P is 60. So your right answer is A. All right. I hope this is clear now. This is one of the questions that you should be able to answer. Okay, now let's look at this slide. What does it say? We're assuming that we are talking about the shawarma Abu Mazen market. What would happen in the market if the following happens? Okay, the price of chicken increases. Okay, we're going to take one by one. Now, the first step that you should know is that you will graph one graph for each question. Now here, the question is basically asking me to graph supply, demand, show equilibrium, and show the new equilibrium price and new equilibrium quantity. All right? Okay. I'll take one by one. Let's just make this a little less. All right. All right. Okay, I'll take the first one. So what market are we talking about? We're talking about the market for shawarma Abu Mazen. Question number one, the price of chicken increases. Let's take this in a new slide. Copy. Okay. Okay, number one, the price of chicken increases. So what's the first step? We said we have 3 steps. If you go back to your notes, what are the 3 steps? How do you solve questions like this? Number one, graph supply and demand and show equilibrium. This is the first step. You graph supply and demand, show equilibrium price, show equilibrium quantity. This is step number one. Step number two, ask yourself, is this a shift in demand or a shift in supply or a shift in both? And then show the new equilibrium. Okay, so here, even without reading, what is your first step? Your first step is to, okay, let's see. Demand, let's graph supply and demand and show equilibrium. Just let me make this a little clearer. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Right. Okay, let's insert my first step. Okay, again, we're talking about the market for Abu Mazen shawarma. My first step is to graph supply and demand and show equilibrium. All right. This is demand. All right. This is supply. Okay. And I need to show my, okay, let me just do this right. And equilibrium quantity. Okay. So let's label, you need to label your graphs. What's on your y-axis, we have price. What's on your x, you have quantity. Here we don't really need numbers because they didn't give us numbers. So we're just going to graph supply, demand, and show equilibrium. Okay, this is quantity. This is your, let's go back. Okay. Equilibrium price. And this is right here, equilibrium quantity. Okay. Okay, now I did my first step. Second, the price of chicken increases now. I need to ask myself, is this a change in demand or a change in supply or a change in both? Shawarma. If I'm looking at chicken shawarma, demand, what are the factors that shift demand? Your income, whether you have a normal good or an inferior good, that's number one. Number two, number of buyers. Number three, prices of complementary goods, whether you have substitute goods or complementary goods, okay? And number four, seasonal changes and so on. Supply, what are the factors that shift supply? You have input prices, you have number of suppliers or number of sellers, and number three, technology and expectations. All right, so chicken basically is supply or demand. Think a little bit. You need the chicken to produce the shawarma sandwich. So this is an input. This is an input. Okay. Input على طول يبقى supply ولا demand؟ supply. طب ايه اللي حصل للانبوت ده؟ سعره زاد. سعر التشيكن زاد. Is this good or bad for you as a firm? It's bad ليه؟ لأن أنا كده سعر التكلفة زاد عليا. Okay, so will you supply more or less shawarmas? You will supply less. So your supply will shift where? To the left. Supply will decrease and shift to the left. Okay, let's label this. I didn't label this. We need to write this as demand. And we need to write this as supply, right? And now we have a leftward shift in supply. So let's show this. Right here. I will label this as, let's make it red. Okay. Okay. What do you do next? Label your supply curve S1. All right. And this is your new equilibrium. Where is your new equilibrium price? Right here. and this is your new, all right, and let's label the new equilibrium. This is going to be the new equilibrium, QE1, and this is okay, and this is price E1. All right. Okay, so what happened to your price? Your price has increased. You need to show this on your graph. Your equilibrium price increased. How about quantity? The equilibrium quantity decreased. This is a complete answer, okay? This is how you answer questions like this, okay? So again, supply decreased عشان the cost of production زاد فالفيرمز قللوا إنتاج الشاورما التشيكن شاورما. فإيه اللي حصل لما قللوا إنتاج الشاورما؟ okay, what happens؟ السعر بيزيد، صح؟ الايكوليبريم برايس زادت، فلما البرايس بيزيد الكونسومرز بيعملوا ايه؟ بيشتروا اكتر ولا اقل؟ بيشتروا اقل. So the quantity, equilibrium quantity also decreased. This is how you answer a question like this. So this is number one. Number two, let's take number two. We're still talking about which market? The market for shawarma. Let's write chicken shawarma actually. Chicken shawarma. All right. Okay, number two. Let's do this. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna, instead of graphing it again, I'll take this graph. We can use it. Okay. Copy. Right here. Okay. All right. The price of chicken McDo. Okay, the price of Mac chicken, of Mac's chicken McDo increases, and it is a substitute for shawarma. So, substitute, is this demand or supply? Demand, automatically. All right. So we're looking at, this is the market for what? This graph, this is the market for shawarma. I don't really care about the graph for the McDonald's one now. We're looking at the market for shawarma. So this is the first step. You graph your demand, you graph your supply, you show your equilibrium price, you show your equilibrium quantity. Okay. When the price of the McDo increases, what will people do? Will they buy more or less chicken shawarma? They will buy more shawarma. So what happens to the demand for shawarma? It will increase and shift to the right. So let's show this right here. All right. It's right here, a shift to the right. And this is my arrow to show the shift in the right. You need to label your new equilibrium. Where is the new equilibrium? This is the point of the new point of intersection between supply and demand. So we have here the price, and this is the equilibrium quantity right here. Okay, let's label our graph. This is the new equilibrium price. This is E1. Okay, and okay. This is the new equilibrium quantity. Okay, what happened to your price? It's increased. All right. What happened to your quantity? It increased. But can we explain this in words? What's happening here? Now you have an increase in demand because the price of chicken McDo increased. So people now are buying more shawarma. So the demand increases. When people want to buy more shawarmas, what's going to happen? When people want to buy more, the prices usually increase. And when prices increase, the supplier, because they want to maximize profit, what will they do? They will increase the quantity from QE to QE2. Okay? This is how you explain it in words. All right? So let's look at the third one. Right here. All right. Number 3. This is number 3. What is your first step? Your first step is automatically to graph supply and demand and show equilibrium. Okay, so I'll just graph it. Supply, demand, and show equilibrium. Insert, let's graph it. If you are studying with me now, I'd rather that you get a paper and pen and graph with me. It will make your life much easier because you can be looking here and you might feel that you understand, but when you try to do it on your own, without practicing, you will not be able to do it. So please, if you are listening to me right now, try to get a paper and a pen and follow me step by step. It will make your life much easier. Good practice. And then it's going to be like just ABC, all right? So next, we have, this is equilibrium price, all right? This is equilibrium quantity. Okay, let's label our graph first. Price, quantity. This is this is supply, and this is demand. All right. I also have to show insert equilibrium quantity. Sorry, equilibrium price and quantity. All right. The price, this is step number 1. Step number 2, the price of tomato decreased. And they're telling me tomato is what? A complementary good for shawarma. So complementary good automatically, is this a change in supply or a change in demand or a change in both? This is a change in demand. Okay, the price of tomato decreases, BL. So do people buy more or less shawarma? They buy more shawarma. So actually this is what's going to happen to your demand. It's going to increase and shift to the right. So this is the new demand. This is the new equilibrium price. And this is the new equilibrium quantity. All right. The arrow, let's show what's happening here. Your demand has increased and shifted to the right. This is the new equilibrium, and this is P1, and this is Q1. All right. So what happened here? Let's show. Okay. All right. So this is number 3. Number 4. They found a new technological way. Okay, let's just first paste this here. Number 4, they found a new way. Let's write it here. Number 4, they found a new technological way of increasing the production of shawarma. Technology على طول هتبقى ايه? Supply or demand? Supply. Technological increase or technological development, this will increase production or not? Yes, it will increase production, which means that your supply will shift where? It will shift to the right. This is an increase in supply, so supply will shift to the right. Can we show this? All right, give me a second. Okay. All right, let's show the shift in supply to the right. Right here. Okay. This is the new price, and this is the new. Okay. Okay, let's insert the arrow. Insert, let's just label our graph. This is S1. This is E1. Okay. This is P1. And right here, this is Q1. All right, so what happened to your equilibrium price? Your equilibrium price has decreased right here. And your equilibrium quantity has increased. This is how you answer this question. I hope now this is clear to you. I will still answer with you the worksheet. We'll do this in the next recording, okay? So I'll stop here and I'll continue in the next recording, okay? See you.